Good afternoon, and welcome to my channel here on YouTube, Loving Guiding Light, where I bring enlightenment and channel messages from God, our Creator, universe. Of course, it's been a couple of days since I've been on here. My name is Keisha, and again, I bring channel messages. I usually take a few days because I'm always in nature, and really I get a lot of my messages from nature, from the surroundings and the sky and animals, plants, etc. Anywho, so over the weekend I was adventurous and went on a hike on Sunday, and as well as on Monday. Wait a minute, no. Yeah, Sunday I went on a hike, and then Tuesday I also went on a hike at the same place, seeing different things. Arabian Mountain here in Georgia. I had been on a quest to find the lake that is deep within the forest at the Arabian Mountain. So over the weekend, on Sunday, I began that quest. I did like 6 miles. However, I did not find the lake, but I did have a wonderful experience nonetheless. You know, Arabian Mountain is in the Rockdale area of Georgia, and that's something I've been trying to dig up, is the actual information on it, because I don't feel like the information which was provided as far as Arabian Mountain and the original owners is the original owners. Just something didn't seem right. So of course I went down the rabbit hole, and I've been doing some research, and I found out that that is basically Creek and Cherokee Indian land prior to the Davisons taking ownership due to what do you call it, ceding of the land in 1812. I was like, So basically, ceding is turning over land to the government. I'm sorry, I don't believe people just turn over their land to the government. I am just not that dumb. So I believe that the government seizes what they want for their own gain and their own purposes. So of course I have to still do some research, but it was just very interesting to find that information. And trust me, I had to dig, because the information you would find on Arabian Mountain is really just going to be in regards to the Davisons, who was the family in which they are pretty much over, like, doing the granite top and all that kind of stuff, granites and granite type counters and so forth. That's what their specialty is. And I'm really going to dig deep to find out more information on Arabian Mountain. While I'm always visiting there recent, you know, because I go to a lot of different places here in Georgia, I just feel like there is some type of energy, indigenous energy, around the land, because of course I'm drawn to finding out who inhabited on that land. So as soon as I get more information, I'll be happy to share that if anyone is interested. But the things that transpired over the weekend on my little adventure in my hikes was a few things. Prior to me getting to the park, I had a couple of occurrences with numbers running across my path, and the numbers were 777 on the plates of on vehicles. And if you are awoke, you're very familiar with this synchronicities of numbers. There are messages for you in those numbers. So I'm going to use this book. This is the Angel Number by Doreen Virtue. And it says, congratulations, you're listening well to your divine guidance and have put that wisdom in fruition. No, congratulations, you have listened well to your divine guidance and have put the wisdom into fruitful action. You're now reaping the rewards. Your success is inspirational in helping others. So please help. No, so please keep the good work. So I'm feeling this here message in which I'm sharing is for the collective, because we are all on the awakening journey. Anyone that is drawn to this channel is on the awakening journey. It is not coincidental that you're here. You're here because your spirit brought you here. There's a message for you on my channel. Right now, a lot of us are starting to actually come forward with our gifts and how we channel messages from God, and sharing it either through platforms. It doesn't necessarily have to be a platform. It could just be that you're sharing it with your loved ones or anyone that crosses your path. You're bringing enlightenment to those to help them to awaken to truth, because there's so much transpiring around us. And yeah, if you are sharing the information, that is what you are meant to do. The wisdom and knowledge that is being bestowed to you is given to you by God, our creator, the universe, ancestors, archangels. You know, there are so many ways in which we are communicated with by our creator, by God. You know, all those before us, ancestral lineage and so forth. So like I said, if you've come to this page, it's because you were drawn to this page. There's a message here for you. And my desire is to only help you in gaining the wisdom and, you know, direction and clarity in which you need to know that you are indeed having an experience and are communicating with God, creator, source, if indeed you are having synchronized numbers crossing your path, so much so that you recognize that it's not coincidental. And then animals. I have a lot of encounters with animals. I have several videos on my YouTube page of those animals in which I've had encounters with. So, and what messages they bring. So, I just want you to know that you will soon be reaping the rewards of what it is that you are doing as far as coming forward and sharing your information and knowledge and wisdom with the collective. You know, you will reap the rewards. Nothing we do goes unnoticed by our creator. No contribution that we make in helping our brothers and sisters on the earth fighting to awaken to the truth, because there's so much going on around us. Sorry, you all. We are in Mercury retrograde, and if you're aware of Mercury retrograde, you will be tripping up over your words and so forth. So forgive me for all the mishaps with my speaking. I blame it on the Mercury retrograde, okay? So this is another angel number book. I got this one at 5 below. In the event that you would like to purchase this one, you may look up and find it. And this one, 777, says, face your fears Trust the divine. Your angels are asking you to release the fear of the unknown, to trust the universe and give up your control of what is going to happen next. Your angels are telling you to not fear the future, but rather to embrace it with faith. That is all in your best interest. It is perfect in the design brought to you by your most trusted guardian angels. You see what my shirt say, right? Faith over fear. Faith over fear. You have to believe and trust that all that is transpiring around us, the chaos, the war, everything, it seems as though everything is around us here in the United States is falling apart. However, there's an old saying, sometimes things have to fall apart to fall into place. We are going to be birthing a new way of being here on Earth. And we are currently, still transitioning into the Aquarian energy, where all deceitfulness, all lies, so forth, will be unveiled for all to see. Not just me, but everyone. However, I have been on this awakening journey now going on 5 years. I'm not sure how long you've been on yours, but some of us have awoken earlier than others, and that's because we will be the ones that will help those that awaken, now, coming up, awaken now. We're going to have to be the ones to help them understand all that is transpiring. This is God's will. This is the Creator's will for things to fall apart in order for them to fall into place, okay? You have to have strong faith to know that. And if you have direct connection like myself, I am constantly in prayer, seeking guidance from God. He has truly made me comfortable in knowing that that is exactly what's happening. So that's one of the reasons I'm not, portraying fear or anything like that, because I don't fear what is transpiring. Yes, there are going to be sacrifices, lives lost, and so forth. But these things have to happen in order for there to be a greater world birthed. So, and those people that are on the front line, that all have chosen to be in the front line of war and all of that, they chose that for themselves in order for what is to come forward now. So we are all divinely called here, to Earth. We either reincarnated and chose to be here at this particular time because it is a very precedent time that is transpiring around us right now. And we are those that are offering the higher vibration in order to carry the rest of our brothers and sisters that are still asleep. We're carrying them while they're still slumbering. And so we have to stay in a very high vibrational energy in order for things to work according to God's plan. So in order to be able to do that, you have to be constant in what it is that you're doing on a daily basis to remain in that frequency. So you have to feed yourself wonderful things. Like I get up every morning, I do affirmations. When during the day, I do affirmations. I'm doing all kinds of things to keep my vibration elevated. The synchronized numbers, I think they cross our path as well in order to keep us and give us hope. So, and also they bring messages, of clarity and direction on what you should be doing on your path. And right now, we're currently listening and doing what we have been instructed to do by Spirit. That is for all of us that is making this contribution to the collective. We are all doing what we are supposed to be doing, and we will reap the rewards. You know, it's not about a race or, you know, notoriety. Like for me, I come on here and I share the messages I share because I truly want to be a contributor to the best for all humanity, you know, for us to evolve. And I pray that the messages I deliver to you all are received and understood to be just what I intend them to be. Okay. So 777 was what crossed my path. And so this is a book that I often use. Nature Speaks. I'm a huge Ted Andrews fan. Because, like I said, nature speaks to me. Animal speaks to me. This is a topic that he's covered for many, many years. And I have been studying this now going on 5 years. 5.5 years. Yes, 5.5 years. So while I was out at the park, Arabian Mountain, another thing that I noticed immediately when I came into the mountain of granite that is like in the midst of the woods. I don't know how to describe it. It's, you have to go through this trail, and then there's woods, and there's some areas that's granite top and looks like mountains. There was mounds of rocks, looked like they were, you know, stacked upon each other many years ago, because they were already formed and stuck in whatever, however they bonded them together, whatever kind of stuff they used for that. Brick and mortar, I'm not sure. Back then it probably wasn't brick and mortar because it looked more indigenous made versus man-made, let's say that. I noticed immediately when I was going into that area, I was looking up to the sky, and I'm going to post some of these pictures here on my channel. Probably won't be able to do it to the actual video, but probably in the community portion of my channel. And the first thing was the clouds. I mean, these clouds in the sky were so massive. The first thing came to my head when I seen this cloud formation was a dragon formation. So I did do some research on the dragon, and the dragon formation in the clouds is what I visioned. And then it is in the east, dragons are considered good luck, and they reflect good fortune and great power. Okay, good fortune and great power. That was the first thing I encountered when I walked into the woods on this trail. And so, of course, I took lots of videos and film and whatnot. And then I noticed, wow, in that formation of clouds that looked like a dragon, I could see a rainbow, like it was entrapped in into the clouds. And I'll put a video, not a video, but the picture of that up. So it wasn't like a full like spectrum rainbow, but it was just like a rainbow, yellow and green, and maybe a little bit of purple is what I could see. I took a picture of it as well. So rainbows serve as a sign of hope and new beginnings and transformation. It's considered a type of color symbolism. Okay, so the colors in which I seen in the rainbows were yellow and green, and I want to say a little bit of maybe red or violet. It wasn't like a full rainbow. It was just like the rainbow hues encapped in the clouds. So the color yellow is linked to communication, optimism, and inspiration. White, well, I'll come back to white because I seen the white within the clouds, so I can use the white. White was within the clouds, and so white is purity, sharing, truth, you know. And then I seen the green. It's growing, healing, and abundance. Okay. And let me see. We'll go in here. This one. Okay, this one. I use this book also a lot just to get information. This is My Animal Speaks by Ted Andrews. I told you I'm a huge fan of Ted Andrews. So the red, or yeah, the red, and I'm gonna say it was red / violet. I can't. A little bit of red, a little bit of like violet. So the red is sex, passion, and strength. And then the violet is alchemy, humility, and spirit. Okay? Those were the colors I seen in the hues of this rainbow in the clouds. So I was like, okay. And prior to me seeing that rainbow, I had been praying over the weekend because I've been dealing with some challenges. And I was like, God, please, I just need sign. I need some type of sign to know that I am on the right path, that I am doing the right thing. You know, all these different things that was going through my mind over the weekend when the challenges arose. And the first thing I did was go to pray and, you know, tell God what I felt was upon my heart. And then asking at some point that I would get a sign that I was certainly on the correct path. And so once I seen that rainbow, it was just like, wow, like I just felt like a weight had been lifted. Like that was the sign, because prior to me seeing that, earlier that day I had a doctor's appointment out in Snellville, and I was going to that appointment and I was listening to something on the radio. I listened to 91 point something. It's like the jazz channel. They talk about all kind of cultural things that's going on here in Georgia. And they were talking about something. And in that conversation between the radio host or whatever and the person that was having the conversation, they were saying that God would give a sign. He would give a sign. And I just prayed for a sign. Prayed on Sunday for a sign. And then on Tuesday, en route to my doctor's appointment, the radio host was talking about a sign that would be given from God. So then, like I said, when I just seen this cloud out of nowhere, which no one else seen, my son was with me. I literally had to point it out to him because he couldn't see it. And so when I seen it, I knew right then that that message was for me, that I am indeed on the correct path, and that I am listening and following the instructions given to me through Creator, through spirit guides, through archangels, through ancestors, through the ascended masters. So I immediately felt a weight lifted from my shoulder. I just felt much better. And I'm so thankful for the ways in which God chooses to communicate with me, that I'm always in awe. Okay. Also, on my hike, I was a rabbit, a hare, a jackrabbit. It was a jackrabbit for sure, because the ears were super long, and the jackrabbit ears are longer than the cottontail rabbit, which I video recorded him or her for maybe a minute or so. Anyway, it crossed my path while I was walking en route to find the lake. Okay, the lake that I was in quests to find. So, of course, me, I am always looking to see exactly what messages rabbits or animals bring, because I don't believe in coincidences. I believe things happen for a reason. And this rabbit just so happened to cross my path, and of course, as soon as I was able to get home and sit and do my quiet time, I went straight to my handy animal speak book. It says literally become my new best friend. And I looked up what the message is from rabbits. Okay, so I'm going to read that to you all here. And then I'm going to probably cut this recording and come back later and do perhaps pull a few cards to see if there's any other messages God has for us. So it says, rabbit, hare, H-A-R-E. Keynote is fertility, new life, cycle of power. It is year-round. It says, the rabbit is an animal whose essence and energy is a paradox. It is found in both myth and folklore, and depending upon the society, it was perceived in a variety of ways. In Greek mythology, it was associated with goddess Heka deck or something like that. Yeah, so Hecate. And when I looked up the information on this goddess, she is associated with crossroads, entranceways, night, light, magic, protection from witchcraft, the moon, which we just had the full moon in Scorpio, and a lunar eclipse as well. Knowledge of herbs and poisonous plants, graves, ghosts, and sorcery, and necromancy, necromancy. I know I chopped that up. Don't know the pronunciation, but perhaps you can look that up. And I felt like, okay, it's that's the Greek mythology. It's associated with that goddess. And then the ancient Hebrews consider it unclean because it was a lascivious. It was considered to be unclean because it was lascivious. So I looked up the definition of lascivious. Lascivious is filled with showing sexual desires. Okay, showing sexual desires. So it could be an act, lascivious, an act or such of a sexual desire. Then this is just how the Hebrews seen it. And then among the Algonquin Indians, the great hare is the animal demarage, which means it's the symbol for that Indian tribe. In China, it is one of the 12 astrology signs. It was considered a most fortunate sign, giving those born under its ability to possess the power of the moon. Hare individuals are considered sensitive and artistic. The hare is imbued with ambition, finesse, and virtue, along with living on the moon. The rabbit is known for its ability to procreate, its fleetness, the ability to make great leaps and hops. It moves primarily by hops and leaps, and individuals with this totem find that their endeavors do so as well. All of these characteristics are significant for those with this totem. So it says that within 1 month, 28 days, the young are able to be out on their own. They can stay in the nest, but they can survive on their own. If a new litter arrives, the mother will kick the old litter out. This 28-day period again reinforces the lunar connection with the rabbit. Usually, if a rabbit totem shows up on your path, you will begin to see a cycle of 28 days beginning to manifest in your life. Let me repeat that. Usually, if a rabbit totem shows up on your path, you will begin to see a cycle of 28 days beginning to manifest in your life. The two most common rabbits are the cottontail and the jackrabbit. The ears of the cottontail are much shorter than a jackrabbit, and its coats stay the same all year round. The fur of the jackrabbit will lighten or even turn white in the winter. Both animals can leap and hop. Those with the rabbit totem will see movement occur in their life in their various degrees of leaps and hops. It won't be steady, step-by-step movement. The leaps and hops do not usually take more than a cycle of a moon, 28 days to occur. Although some associate fear with the rabbit, it has wonderful abilities for defense. Those with this totem would do well to apply them to their own life. Rabbits often create forms to use for hiding and resting. To create a form, the rabbit scratches a shallow bowl into the earth or grass that is open in front and in the back to enable its escape if necessary. Rabbit people should plan for possibilities. If a rabbit has shown up, it may indicate a need to do some more planning or check those you have already set in motion. You do not want to box yourself into a corner. Still, they know the movement can, you do not want to box yourself into the corner. Rabbits have a knack for avoiding being seen. They can freeze, holding perfectly still. They know that movement can be detected from a great distance by many predators. If you are involved in competition in work or in play, it will be important not to foreshadow your moves. Rabbits are also clever at doubling back, making quick and rapid turns. If they need to flee, they can be extremely fast. Learning to shift from freezing to great speed is something all with this totem should learn. It will aid your success and enable you to take advantage of opportunities that may only present themselves for a brief moment. Rabbits are vegetarians. Those with the totem may need to examine the kinds of foods being consumed. For the greatest health and the healing, a vegetarian diet, even if only temporary, will strengthen and heal. Rabbits can show you how to recognize the signs around you. It can help you to attune to the lunar cycles and recognize the tides of movement within your life. This in turn will enable you to become even more fertile in your life. Okay? So we, the collective, if we are, which I am currently, trying to be more active on my channel or whatnot, and bring more content in order to share the messages in which are coming to me. This is the platform in which I use. I also share with my loved ones and those that cross my path. I believe that we are perhaps just needing to make sure, double check how we are delivering what we are receiving from Creator. Just to make sure that we are indeed on track and using using our intuition properly, and make our plans clear. Maybe perhaps putting it to paper, journaling, things in which you want to bring forth, how you want to bring them forth, how you want to perhaps apply them on your journey, your spiritual walk. Me, I am contemplating adding a few things to my website as far as jewelry that I am considering selling, like this 444 numbers, angel numbers, just different things. So this is the message I was getting from the rabbit, is that I need to set in motion different things I want to implement on my channel that I think would be helpful for the collective. Also, you need to be prepared that if you need to quickly shift or change direction, just be prepared. A plan A, a plan B, a plan C. I don't know. Don't box yourself into a corner. Don't feel as though you need to be competitive with anyone either, because, we are all unique and we all have our own unique ways of providing information. There's a lot of wonderful people here on this YouTube that do divination through the use of tools such as tarot, runes. I see coffee mugs. I see crystal divinations, whatnot. Everybody has a different form in how they are being communicated with Creator. Me, I have a very large array, like most of us do. It's just, how are we going to channel the messages? I do use the tarot. I do use runes. I also, like I said, use the animals and the synchronized numbers to bring forth messages I feel are specifically for us, to keep us encouraged on this journey. So I need to, really, I'm trying to condense it all. How do I use it all to be productive the way that I would like to be, and presenting it here to you all on YouTube? So I'm going to narrow it down, the different things I will be bringing forth here on this channel. But for now, I'm bringing it to you how I'm receiving it. This is how I receive these messages, and that's how I am giving it to you. My intentions is to only bring messages to you that are bringing enlightenment, empowerment, and helping you on this journey, on this awakened journey. So that is what I seen was the hair, and that is the messages. So we just need to really start to, consider how we are going to use these gifts, and stick to the way in which we will bring those messages forth. Again, you may not want a platform such as YouTube or social media or anything like that. However, this is a tool in which I am trying to use in order to help awaken the slumbering. There are still lots of us asleep, and our job is to help our brothers and sisters awaken and help them to be free of enslavement and bondage in which we have all been indoctrinated in. So my contribution is to use the messages I receive from many means, and bringing them to you all. So I pray that you all receive these messages as I intend them to be, just uplifting, encouraging, and keeping you on your path. let me see. Also, on my hike, I ran into some wonderful plants. I ran into, oh my Lord, what was the plant? It was called Adam's Needle, prickly pear, prickly pear, and then horseweed. Okay, and all of those plants were yellow. Yeah, yellow in color. The prickly pear was yellow, very beautiful flower. I will post pictures. The horseweed is a yellow and white, and then the Adam's needle is like a white, cream white, and therefore those colors that I gave you are all related to those colors as well of the flower in which I seen. And yellow is associated with um, wonderful things, in my opinion. Um, Communication, optimism, and inspiration. Okay, so that is our purpose here: is to be optimistic, to offer inspiration to our brothers and sisters that are seeking out truth, that are drawn to our channels. And just so you know, there's no coincidences. If you have clicked on this channel and are listening to my messages, then there's a message here for you. God drew you here, your soul. That is your spirit drawing you here. That is how you are connected to your creator, is by your soul. And you should allow your soul to be your guide, to help you along your path. So for now, I'm going to end this because that is part of what I wanted to communicate to you all. And then later on this evening, I will probably, when I get home, come back on and pull a few cards just to see what other messages God may have for us today. Today is 5/10/2023. And we do have a lot of things transpiring as well in the sky, with different planets and all of that. Right now it's called the Cassimi Mercury, which is the energy is supposed to be magical and full of good luck. And then we have Jupiter retrograding in Taurus. You may want to look that up. And also, if you're not familiar with your natal chart, you need to be familiar with your natal chart. I encourage you to go get your natal chart. All you need is your date of birth, the time in which you were born, which is usually on your birth certificate, and then the place in which you were born, in order to know the planets and where they were at during your time of birth. All of that stuff is very pertinent to you knowing thyself. God says, know thyself. And knowing your natal chart will bring you further enlightenment about you, your behaviors, and the things in which you are here to do. Your North Node and South Node are very important, because the North Node is what you are here to do currently, and the South Node is what and who you were in your past life. So I encourage you to pull your natal chart. And if you ever need help in understanding that, because I'm still learning myself, I still do a lot of digging and researching on my natal chart, because like I said, we have so many things transpiring within the universe that actually impacts us, whether that's something you believe or not, because you were indoctrinated in one religion, you were told that astrology and all of that is not something to look into. It's taboo, whatever. Yeah, definitely look into it, because there's a reason they don't want you to know that stuff, because they know that it's going to awaken you to the truth. So I encourage you to pull your natal chart. And if you feel led to do so, and you want to communicate with me, my email is in my community board, and you can, send me an email or whatnot, so we can try to link up and communicate and broaden our understanding of ourselves together. That's my hope, is to connect with others that is on this journey and that are ready to really walk into their destiny and their purpose here on earth. We chose to be here at this time. It's a very precedent time. Again, we are still, coming into the Aquarian age, leaving Piscean age. Piscean was living in illusions. You know, we were being manipulated, lied to, all these different things, deceitfulness through the government and so forth. And now we are in the Aquarian age, and all those things will be unveiled to us. So we have to prepare ourselves for what is to come. And this is what's transpiring. All these things are transpiring for the good of all humankind. And I would love to connect with you. So again, if you feel so led to do so, like the video, share the video, as well as send me an email. Maybe we can exchange numbers once we start communicating, and we can start, just helping one another on this path. And until next time, I will see you later. Toodles.